You already know what you need to do to get shredded this summer. Eat less, move more, expend more energy than you consume. If you ask ChatGPT how to get in shape, it would tell you exactly that. And funny enough, it would be completely right. But there's this question nobody can seem to answer. If the plan is that simple, why is everybody still out of shape? Why is obesity at an all-time high when calorie tracking apps are free and the information is everywhere? It's because having a plan and being able to actually follow it are two completely different things. Last summer, I lost 25 pounds in under 3 months and got down to 10 to 12% body fat. And what I learned wasn't some new fad diet or crazy cardio hack. It was realizing that the things that get in the way of the plan are just as important as the plan itself. And so that's what we're going to talk about today. The first problem I see with almost every single person who can't lose weight is this: simply being too lazy to cook. And you might be thinking, but isn't losing weight just about calories in and calories out? Couldn't I just eat 2,200 calories of honey buns every single day and still get shredded? In theory, yes, 100%. But the problem is, you're gonna be hungrier than if you fasted all day if you go and eat a bunch of nonsense. Almost every single processed food leaves you hungrier than you were before you ate it. It's specifically designed to addict you. Even all this protein slop being sold does this as well. Quest bars, Bear Bells, it's a glorified candy bar that is going to leave you craving. You need to be eating whole foods as regularly as possible, and unfortunately, there's not a lot of fast food options that I would consider whole filling foods. So therefore, you need to know how to cook so that you're eating whole foods around 85% of the time or more. I'm not talking Gordon Ramsay level meals. I'm talking having 3 or 5 simple meals that you can rotate between and meal prep easily. I left a Google Doc in the description that I give to every single one of my clients if you want to check that out. It really goes into depth on the meals that I make every single day. But in this video, I'm going to give you a brief overview of what they are so you can hopefully have your 3 to 5 meals that you can start making. Number 1 is a homemade Chipotle bowl, which essentially all you do is pick a carb. For me, is usually sweet potatoes, or rice. Pick a lean protein, usually 93.7 ground beef for me, and then pick from this list of toppings that's on the screen right now. A bonus I usually like to do is throw 3 to 6 eggs on top of there and eat it with the bowl. And if you like Chipotle, there's no excuse not to be shredded. You can just do it at home. Number 2 is a yogurt bowl mixed with a scoop of protein powder usually, and whatever else I feel like or have available in the house. And number 3 is some sort of smoothie, which for me usually consists of frozen blueberries, half a banana, about a quarter cup of 2% milk, and then maybe a scoop or 2 of protein powder. Some other meals I mix in occasionally are sourdough bread with honey, protein oatmeal, and banana pancakes made with just bananas, eggs, honey, and berries. All these meals are beyond easy to make. You really don't have to have any kitchen skills at all to do them. And if you want more in-depth explanations about how to make them and the exact ingredients I use, that Google Doc is in the description. Overall, I cannot stress how important it is to be cooking your own meals and avoiding the processed slop engineered to just completely destroy your dopamine receptors. Calories in, calories out is true, but it's essential that you make it as easy as possible to remain in that deficit. The second issue I see people running into is living an unproductive life. If someone's dealing with a struggle, you might have heard them say, "I'm gonna go do something to take my mind off it." What they're doing is making sure their brain is occupied so they're not thinking about the issue. Weirdly enough, food works in the same exact way as our issues. When our brain is unoccupied, it thinks about our problems as well as craves food. I'm sure you can relate to this, and I'll give you an example of mine. For Lent, I personally chose to fast 1 day per week entirely from food for spiritual reasons. And out of the 7 or so days I fasted throughout Lent, there was 1 day in particular that wasn't even that hard. That day happened to be the one time I was studying for hours upon end for a test in school I had the next day, and I was just fully focused on the work in front of me for pretty much the entirety of the hours I was awake. I wasn't fighting cravings, I simply just didn't notice them. Now, in full transparency, this is a tough step to just implement instantly. You can't 180 your entire lifestyle in 1 day. What you can do though right now is 180 an aspect, a part of your lifestyle. Think of one thing, one hobby that you can add right now that will consume more of your time. Now think of a specific downtime you usually have in your days. For example, I just added reading to my bedtime routine, whereas before it was honestly just to scroll. And I found that when I was scrolling, I often had this itch to eat something nasty too. So for you, find that habit or hobby in that time you regularly have nothing going on, and start filling that time with something beneficial. If you're a scroller like me before bed and you find yourself oftentimes eating while you do that, just steal mine straight up. So this all goes to say, put more time and effort into your work, school, health, or really anything but scrolling and sitting around, and you'll find yourself not relying on so much willpower to stay away from food. The The people who get shredded aren't always the most disciplined, they're just more structured. The third thing I see holding people back, specifically around my age group in their early 20s, is just straight up drinking. For some, this is going to be the biggest issue, and for others, this is a complete non-factor. Personally, I have a couple drinks on rare occasion and I avoid drunkenness as much as I can. Unfortunately though, I don't want to lie, and I have to admit that I have messed up before, and I used to mess up all the time in my life before Christ. This is a little off topic, but I have a full video I'll card right now about my battle with alcohol. Some of you might find it valuable or interesting. It dives into a lot of the reasons why I avoid drunkenness as a Christian, and not necessarily for health reasons. And while I believe that drinking heavily is wrong from a biblical Christian perspective, you don't have to look at it from that lens. You can look at it from a completely secular health perspective and still come to the same conclusion. Alcohol has calories, a lot of them too. Someone who drinks to get drunk is going to likely consume at least bare minimum 800 calories of just alcohol before the night's over. And that's not even considering mixers or the massive amounts of sugar many alcoholic drinks come with. That can often double the total of calories you're consuming. But another big problem people miss when it comes to drinking, and I know so many people that run into this, is eating a ton of food when they get drunk. Let's say you went about your day normally. You ate in your 300 to 500 calorie deficit, but then you drank around 1,000 calories in alcohol plus mixers. And that's on the safe end, by the way. Then that results in you getting drunk and eating something like 1,000 calories of Taco Bell at 2 a.m. Once again, that's on the safe end. That in itself is going to practically erase your whole week of progress in just a few hours. Crazy thing is, so many people do this every single week, many multiple times per week, and wonder why they can't lose weight. Overall, I believe there's a much better reason not to drink in excess other than just health-wise, and I talk about that a lot in the video I mentioned earlier. But even if you're not a Christian, excessive drinking and a partying lifestyle makes it virtually impossible to lose weight and get in the shape you want for the summer. Overall, I hope this video encouraged you to fix one or hopefully more of these habits, and I truly believe this could be the catalyst to you finally getting to that 10 to 12% body fat range if you take these seriously. The plan is the simple part, but your job is to protect that plan and not let obstacles get in the way. If you enjoyed this video and want to keep seeing videos like this on no nonsense fitness advice, drop a like and subscribe. Anyways, I hope you all have a great rest of your day. God bless.